I'm just going to remember, since we have a movie star here, that it was a movie star, George Clooney, who really affected this election. I mean, Biden might still be in there if George Clooney, talk about celebrities and how important they are. I don't think they're important in getting the voters to do something, but they sure were important in getting the party heads to finally do that.
Hold on to your seats, because we're about to dive into one of Hollywood's most sensational and jaw-dropping debacles of 2025. George Clooney, the man long synonymous with charisma, elegance, and cinematic royalty, has found himself at the epicenter of a career implosion so dramatic, it could easily be mistaken for one of his own disaster movies. The plot? A bitter public feud that has rocked Tinseltown and captured the attention of fans and critics alike. And at the center of this real-life drama is none other than Bill Maher, the famously sharp-tongued host of Real Time. Trust me, this conflict is as outrageous as it is entertaining. But before we get swept away in this storm of betrayal, humiliation, and public disgrace, let me thank you for tuning in, because you're going to want to buckle up. This ride is about to get wild. It all began with what was supposed to be a straightforward political advertisement, Clooney's attempt to reassert his voice in today's ever-shifting cultural landscape and remind everyone of his activist edge. But instead of making waves in a positive way, the ad crashed and burned. And when I say bombed, I mean it tanked harder than any of Clooney's past box office flops. It wasn't just criticized, it was roasted, mocked, and completely dismantled.
Come on, boys. Let's make America great again. It's your turn, buddy.
Before you cast your vote in this election, think about how it'll impact the people you care about the most.
Daddy!
Remember, you can vote any way you want, and no one will ever know.
Do your patriotic duty.
You bet I did, brother.
What happens in the booth stays in the booth. Vote Harris Walls.
Paid for by...
Critics were swift and brutal, labeling George Clooney as out of touch, tone-deaf, and worst of all, shamelessly pandering. Everyone makes mistakes, sure, but this wasn't just a stumble, it was a full-on nosedive down the staircase of public opinion. While Clooney has weathered controversy before, the cultural climate in Hollywood has shifted, and this time, the backlash spread like wildfire. Determined to regain control of the narrative and salvage his image, Clooney launched a high-stakes media tour, a last-ditch effort to win back public favor. The centerpiece of that plan? A coveted appearance on Real Time with Bill Maher. The idea was bold. Clooney would charm the audience with his signature wit, deliver a heartfelt apology, and offer thoughtful political commentary to remind the public why they ever admired him. But Bill Maher, ever the skeptic, wasn't buying it. Clooney's team pitched the appearance as a sure thing, only to be swiftly turned down, Maher reportedly responding, "This isn't a platform for celebrity rehabilitation." Undeterred, Clooney's camp returned with an even juicier offer, exclusive revelations, direct clapbacks, and headline-making drama. Maher still said no, insisting his audience didn't tune in for Hollywood redemption arcs. The tension escalated. In a bold final plea, Clooney himself reached out, proposing a raw, unscripted conversation, but Maher remained unmoved, emphasizing his show's integrity over ratings. Behind the scenes, Maher reportedly mocked Clooney's desperation, likening his pitches to a sad audition, and these private jabs didn't stay private for long. Clooney, once untouchable, was now humiliated, his charm eroding under pressure. Maher didn't stop there. He began throwing subtle shade during monologues, mocking actors who think their political opinions outweigh their dwindling box office appeal. While he never named Clooney outright, the implication was crystal clear. Clooney's team scrambled, pitching him to other outlets like The Howard Stern Show, but even that path was blocked, producers wary of associating with his now toxic image. Internally, Clooney was reportedly unraveling, lashing out at staff and confidants as his grip on public favor slipped. Meanwhile, Maher stood firm, refusing to cave under celebrity pressure, framing his resistance as a stand for authenticity in a sea of media theatrics. What began as a political ad misfire had spiraled into Hollywood's most dramatic scandal of the year, a war of reputation, ego, and relevance. The Clooney-Maher standoff is no longer just personal. It's symbolic of a deeper shift in the entertainment world, where even legends aren't immune to the court of public opinion. As major studios distance themselves and talk shows close their doors, one question lingers. Can George Clooney stage a comeback, or has the curtain fallen on his Hollywood fairy tale? Sound off in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more.